March 6th. No, there are no more birthdays in my family to celebrate today. And no, my sister-in-law did not see her birthday shout out. And that describes much of my reasoning why I'm here trying to find my people. What seems to be the unattainable goal of any autistic person ever. Seeing that we are too little in some aspects while being too much in others. Speaking of being too much. I might be a little bit too geeky today, but in the end it is to show how defining data in the equation consciousness equals perception plus data as cascades of metaphors directly influences and, when not understood and explored, limits our ability to think outside the box. And thus, it will limit you to unsatisfactory solutions. I'll also bring up how it explains the danger of AI in economics. This line of thought all started when I saw a line in the description of the conservative worldview. The pursuit of self-interest is moral. If everyone pursues their own self-interest, then the self-interest of all will be maximized. This mirrors Adam Smith's basis for his economics. If everybody pursues his own profit, the profit of all will be maximized. My initial question was, is thinking about progressive solutions for problems arising out of an economy hampered by the conservative worldview and our story through which we still understand economy today, building on the same metaphors? It would mean that any discussion of economics and the market, etc., inevitably activates the same neural circuitry and hence strengthens the conservative worldview with all its ideas about self-interest, self-reliance, and wealth equaling success equaling the claim to power. Now, Adam Smith's origin story for the markets and money is that of a guy wanting milk but only having apples to exchange for them. While the milkman has no need for apples but wants shoes. The two would need to find a third person to enter the exchange who wants apples for shoes, unless they had something that could be exchanged for anything, like money. Once money entered the world, markets could arise in which everyone could pursue their own profit that, according to Smith, would lead to a maximization of profits for all. Metaphorically, profits are growth, something we experience in ourselves and in nature everywhere, what is generally seen as positive. So he had everything going for himself from that point on. We all want growth. But I'd say there's another metaphor to be found in Smith's origin story, in the very part that has been disproven by anthropologists, but is so essential it is still taught in business schools everywhere today. Why the scenario has never happened like this, could not have happened like this, is the fact that Smith split off his interaction between the people from the rest of their lives, meaning the interaction described would have happened between neighbors, people who have a close relationship which involves trust, a past, and a future. The interactions were ongoing and couldn't be seen isolated from each other. What Smith uses to convince us that he could, though, is that life is a journey metaphor. This metaphor breaks down into action as motion and purpose is destination. Also, the frame that life is a sequence of actions performed over a lifetime, and also it entails the cultural norm that people in the Western world are expected to have a purpose in life. From this we understand that the prehistoric people who Smith made up meet in this one spot on their life's paths, while they otherwise move on it individually to their independent goals. The market, according to Smith, therefore is never something we work on together to reach a goal or achieve life's purpose. And since this is the basis of how we think about the market and economy until today, because everything is built on this one idea, it is hard to think of collective solutions for economical problems. The brain circuitry for one inhibits the other. As Professor Leckhoff pointed out, where the economy is concerned, we are in a spot of hypocognition, a situation where we lack any other established frames that enable us to think differently. Now, many of the new ideas for financial devices today are very complex, meaning they require the processing of more data than a human brain can compute in the time necessary or given by the markets to react today. But that's just one problem. As just demonstrated in this origin story of the markets and money, we think in metaphors, everything is metaphors, and AI developing new financial devices today? No, it doesn't. It's not just the complexity, but also the inability to find ways to think about what's happening that will make it hard for any human being, makes it already hard for any human being to understand what's going on there. And that when the whole money thing is built on one thing and one thing only, trust. How will we be able to trust what we don't understand? How, when it multiplies the money for some, but not for others? I don't know. What I understand though is that as far as the data in the equation consciousness equals perception plus data is accessible for us through figuring out what stories, metaphors we use to build our reality on through thinking, we should do just that. Think, make a habit out of thinking, turn thinking into a movement. Like, comment, share, and as always, thank you for gifting me with a few minutes of your most precious, your lifetime.